The doll maker's heir in the cluttered back streets of New Orleans, where jazz notes mingled with the humid night air and Spanish moss dangled like hanging nooses, there was an antique shop called Eternal Companions. It specialized in porcelain dolls from the Victorian era, each one meticulously crafted with glassy eyes that seemed to follow you around the room. The owner, Madame Laveau, a descendant of the famous voodoo priestess, had passed away under mysterious circumstances, her body found slumped in her workshop, surrounded by unfinished dolls, her face frozen in a scream. I'm Clara Voss, a 35-year-old estate appraiser from Chicago, sent to catalog the shop's inventory after Madame Lavau's death. The will named no heirs, so everything was to be auctioned. I arrived on a sweltering July evening, the shop's bell tinkling like a child's laugh as I entered. Dust motes danced in the dim light, filtering through grimy windows. Rows of dolls lined the shelves, little girls in frilly dresses, boys in sailor suits, their cheeks painted with unnatural rosiness. Their eyes, oh, those eyes, reflected my silhouette, unblinking. The lawyer had warned me. Madame was eccentric, believed her dolls were vessels for spirits. Superstition, I thought. I'd dealt with hoarder estates before. I set up my laptop in the back room, the workshop where she died. Tools scattered on the bench, tiny brushes, jars of paint, spools of hair. Real human hair, I realized with a shudder. A half-finished doll sat there, its head lolling, mouth agape as if mid-whisper. That first night, I worked late, photographing each doll. Click, flash. The light bounced off their eyes, making them gleam. As I moved to the next shelf, I heard a soft giggle, faint, like wind through cracks. I paused, ears straining. Nothing. Fatigue, I decided. But then, from the corner of my eye, a doll's head turned slightly. Just the draft, right? I shook it off and headed to the upstairs apartment, included in the rental. The bed was antique, creaky, with a canopy that cast web-like shadows. Sleep came in fits, dreams of porcelain faces cracking open, revealing writhing maggots beneath. I woke sweating, the clock reading 2:47 a.m. A patter of footsteps echoed from downstairs, small, like children's feet. Heart pounding, I grabbed my phone's flashlight and crept down. The shop was still, dolls in place. But one, a blonde girl in a red dress, now faced the door, as if waiting for me. I'd sworn it was turned toward the window earlier. Prank. No one else had keys. Morning brought unease. I resumed cataloging, but the giggles returned, clearer now, emanating from the dolls themselves. I inspected one closely. Inside its hollow body, something rattled. Curiosity overrode caution. I pried open the back panel. A tiny scroll tumbled out, yellowed paper inscribed in faded ink. Bind the soul, seal the flesh. They watch, they wait, they fetch. Voodoo nonsense. But as I read, the doll's eyes flicked. Impossible, but I saw it. The afternoon, paranoia set in. Every time I turned my back, positions shifted. Arms raised, heads tilted, fingers curled as if beckoning. I called the lawyer. "Get out," he urged. Madame claimed the dolls harvested souls for her ancestors. She made them from parts. Parts? Human parts? I laughed nervously, but hung up and researched online. Old articles surfaced, missing children in the 1800s, bodies found drained, eyes gouged. Madame's great-grandmother was suspected but never charged. The dolls were her alibis, innocent toys. Dusk fell, and the shop transformed. Shadows elongated, dolls casting humanoid silhouettes that danced in the flickering streetlight. I tried to leave, but the door stuck, lock jammed. Panic rising, I smashed a window, glass shattered, but an invisible force pushed me back, like icy hands on my chest. The giggles swelled into laughter, choral and malicious. Dolls animated now, eyelids blinking slowly, lips parting to reveal needle teeth. I fled to the workshop, barricading the door with the bench. But they came, tiny feet scrambling, porcelain scraping wood. Through the keyhole, eyes peered, glassy, hungry. "Play with us, Clara," they chorused, voices like shattered glass. "We're lonely." One pounded the door, cracks forming. I grabbed tools, a hammer, and swung as the door burst open. Dolls swarmed, climbing shelves, leaping like spiders. I crushed one. It exploded in shards, but from the debris, a spectral child emerged. Translucent, withered, screaming as it clawed at my legs. They latched on, cold fingers digging into skin. The half-finished doll on the bench stirred, its incomplete face twisting into a grin. "Join the collection," it rasped, voice echoing Madame's from old recordings I'd found. They dragged me down, pinning me. Needles from the toolkit floated, guided by unseen forces, stitching my lips shut as I screamed silently. My eyes, they pried at them, whispering, "We need new windows for our souls." I fought, but darkness closed in. My last sight, the dolls rearranging, one now with my hair, my eyes, staring back with my face. Now I watch from within. The shop awaits its next appraiser. If you hear giggles in the night, run. But you won't. The dolls call to the curious, the alone. Like me, like you. Epilogue. The auction days later, the shop reopened for auction. Bidders marveled at the lifelike new doll on display. Dark hair, appraiser's badge pinned to its dress. "So realistic," they cooed. As the gavel fell, it blinked. The buyer smiled, unaware of the giggle only he would hear that night.